cause of Vivian Ogu movement, Very Reverend Father Stephen Dubiri, the Dean of Benin City Deanery, and the Vice Postulator of the cause of Vivian Ogu, Very Reverend Father Charles Omogiate, and every one of us who are present here today. I welcome you all. Today is a very special day in the life of our dear sister, Vivian Ogu, on whose cause we gathered here this morning. We are celebrating this Mass as a Mass of memorial in our honor because of the kind of life and the heroic way with which she bore witness to the faith. We gather like this to praise God that within our midst there is a beacon of light and hope in the time where all hope seems gone, where immorality and moral decadence is pervading the whole of our environment. The light can still shine, a remnant can still be made, a remnant can still be used to contradict our world, and Vivian Ogu is that remnant. We gather here today to celebrate one who stood for what purity, chastity, and virginity ought to represent in our world. We gather here today to celebrate one who, in the face of martyrdom, was not deterred. We gather here today to celebrate one who, in the face of death, was not afraid to die for what she believed in. And if you ask me, as I told somebody recently, I said Vivian Ogu is the John the Baptist of our time. Because John the Baptist confronted strong authority, having Herod at the head. John knew that when he preached, the kind of preaching he was preaching, he would be arrested. John knew that if he preached this kind of preaching, he would be put to jail. John knew that if he preached this kind of preaching, he may be killed. Then John stood for the truth. And what was the truth? Herod has married his brother's wife, Herodias. And John said to Herod, it is not good. This is not good. You are Herod. Do what is right. Do what you represent. Your action contradicts the law. And Herodias was not happy with that. And John paid with his life. He knew that if I preach this message, these things may happen to me. But John stood his ground and preached the message. He knew he would die, but he preached and he stood for the truth. Our dear Vivian also knew the implication of standing for virginity, of standing for purity, and of standing for chastity. She knew that in the face of men with guns, the implication was obvious, but she stood her ground. She stood for what heaven represents. She stood for what the Blessed Virgin Mary represents. She stood for the glory of the martyrs and the saints. So today we are gathered to say, well done. And to also use it as a means to encourage each and every one of us in the walk that we are walking with God. How we give our life to the faith that we stand to defend or to represent is what we ought to be practicing every day. Inquiring from the director for the cause of this movement, we were made to understand that Vivian was the president of this association, Holy Childhood. And if you examine that word, Holy Childhood, it's a resonance of what scripture represents and says, train up the child the way he should go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it. When you train up a child, you may look at these as children who don't know anything. But this is the paradigm and what Jesus pointed to as those who will make it to heaven. They must be like the little children. And from this group, Vivian stood out. She did not disappoint this group. She did not disgrace this group. As when the whole event happened, she was telling them she was able to obey touched the ground. And because that blood has touched the ground, it has become a seed. The church that we celebrate today, the church that we glory today, is at the mercy of the seed, of the blood of the seed. It's at the mercy of the seed, as the blood of the matter that has become a seed. All the time the matters were killed, their blood became a precious seed to grow the church. And the blood of Vivian has become a seed for Holy Childhood Association. Can we give just a clap of applause? Martyrdom in defense of the faith that she so believed in. And what is a martyr, or who is a martyr? A martyr is someone who suffered persecution and death for advocating, renouncing, or refusing to renounce or advocate a religious belief or other causes as demanded by an external party. In colloquial usage, the term can also refer to any person who suffered insignificant consequences in protest or in support of a cause. And that is where Vivian, and who Vivian represents, she stood for a cause, the cause of Holy Childhood Association, and believed in this cause, so that when the time came to bear witness, she bore it with her life. Most matters are considered holy or are respected by their followers, becoming a symbol of an exceptional leadership and heroism, even in the face of difficult circumstances or death. It defines the person of Vivian, who has become a role model for the whole affairs of Holy Childhood. If anybody is going to point out an example and a paradigm that one can relate with to be able to follow up with events of purity and chastity as it relates to Holy Childhood, we have Vivian as a paradigm. We have Vivian as an example. We have Vivian as a model of purity, a model of chastity, and a model of holiness. Who is Vivian Ogu? Vivian Ogu was born on the 1st of April 1995, and he died on the 15th of November 2009. She was a 14-year-old girl from Benin City, Nigeria. She was martyred for defending her chastity. She was declared servant of God on the 7th of October 2023 at Holy Cross Cathedral by Archbishop Augustine Obiora Akubeze. Early life. Vivian Ogu was born in Benin City on the 1st of April 1995 to Peter Ogu and his wife from Imo State, Nigeria. She was the second out of the 4 children who attended the Air Force Nursery and Primary School. She was a parishioner of St. Paul's Catholic Church, Airport Road, Benin City. She was a member of the Catholic Charismatic Renewal and a choir mistress of the Children's Choir, and also a president of Holy Childhood Association in the parish. On the 15th of November 2009, while at home that evening, armed robbers came to rob her family and afterward took her and her sister to a nearby bush and attempted to rape her. She refused and opted to be shot instead. She also continually instructed her sister to do the same, distracting the robbers and allowing her sister to escape. Her body was found the following day. The government council street on which she was killed, Vivian Ogu, and on the 17th of September 2019, the Edo State government launched the Vivian Ogu Sexual Assault Referral Center. Memorial Day for Vivian Ogu is commemorated on the 15th of November every year. The Vivian Ogu movement was inaugurated on the 14th by the Catholic Bishop of Benin City, Most Reverend Augustine Obiora Akubeze. Vivian Ogu as the servant of God. servant of God, a Latin word that means servus Dei, is a title used in the Catholic Church to indicate that an individual is on the first step towards possible canonization as a saint. Pope Benedict XIII is one of only 2 popes currently declared to be a servant of God. Opening session of the diocesan inquiry of the father and mother will be present. Yes, after the person of Maria Goretti that have the father and the mother. I believe one of the reasons why this project is set aside. There are a lot of, and I want to really praise the director of this course, very Reverend Father Stephen Dubere. For many years he has been on this. For many years he has not. Some of us thought maybe we get tired. But see.